crypto pirates. Welcome to your Discourse Syndicate Captain RG3. RG3 sitting here on a pump candle, baby. Look at that thing go. Look at the green thing. It's going up. It's going up, and it's going up even higher. Look at that. We got us a little pump going on here, guys. The DS pump started early. Get in now before it pumps, and you know what happens at the end of the show. Anyway, welcome, guys. Episode 99. We have had 99 episodes of just, hold on a second. Do I got everything going here right? Yep. Okay. Just making sure that the audio was on. Didn't want to get too excited before, let's see. Giant body on a tiny boat. Yeah, man, this thing, you know, I lost my tech guy, man. I lost him. Got my tiny boat and my big old body on here. Let's see if I can adjust this a little bit to give it a little more realism here, right? Let's see here. I don't have the space or whatever to do what Hexo's doing, so I really like his setup. That's kind of cool. He's doing the real deal. We still got the virtual background, which is cool. I'm good with it. I like it. Anyway, where was I? The pump. We got a pump going on, and we are excited. We've got an announcement to make tonight. We had Dev Kyle coming on tonight, and Matty was going to come and do his thing. Dev Kyle has a family emergency this morning, and so we're giving him a break. And don't forget Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be the 100. Now, this is 100 episodes of just Mondays and Wednesday nights. This has nothing to do with any of the FN Hangouts or any of Wake Up Hex or the new Building Bridges show. This is actually our 100th episode of just Discourse Syndicate on Mondays and Wednesday nights. So we're pretty stoked about that, man. We've been hooking and jabbing for a long time, and you know, I know our content ain't always, you know, up to snuff and bringing you important information, and sometimes it's just bullshit and crap. But I think that all in all, we've provided the community with the ability to do what it wanted, to get its message out, and to get the information that it needs. Hold on one second. I want to open up the chat here. I don't have the chat open, so I can't see what you guys are saying. Hold on. Here we go. There it is. Oh, there's Kool-Aid right there. I just saw him. Yeah, Kool-Aid. We need some upgrade, bro. I know you're busy. Man. I ain't pressing. I've been leaving you be. I know you're busy, man. I'm busy too, and I wouldn't want somebody jumping on my ass about all this stuff. But yeah, we gotta fix the ship up a little bit. Anyway, let me get the chat going here so I can see everybody's chat from all over, from the D Lives to the YouTubes to the Thetas to all that good stuff. Right on. I see you there, Kool-Aid. I see you. Thanks. Okay, let me see if I can. Let's see. I'm running a test on this. Does everybody see that stream? Hit me up on Twitch if you're in Twitch or the D Lives. Throw something in there so I can make sure this is working right. Okay. All right. Good. We are working good. All right. So let me say hello to all the Hexicans out there, because I freaking love you guys, man. You know what? I'm really came on with a somber mood, but Hex is pumping. Everything's going good. Everybody's happy. We had this horrible tragedy this evening. My heart just goes out, man. I just couldn't imagine, you know, sending my wife or my kids or somebody to the grocery store to go pick something up and them not coming back because some fucking man went crazy with a fucking gun, man. It's just, I don't know, guys. It's just fucking sad, man. It really breaks my heart, and my heart goes out to the police officer and his family that was killed trying to stop that incident, and to all those people who lost their lives this evening. So just want to throw a shout out there. I don't want to bring things down, but it's real heavy on my heart right now. So just wanted to say something. Anyway, back to Hex and what's going on here. Let me say hello to the chat room before we bring our guests on. Bran, first in line. Good to see you, bro. And like your t-shirts, man. He's got some t-shirts that he went and bought They look pretty cool. Maybe we'll throw them up there tonight or something. Bruce Bankert. Hey, T-Bird Hex. Edge of your seat, huh? Well, you know, a lot of it's clickbait. We're just, you know, it might not be that exciting. I don't know. Some might get excited about it. Some might not. Hex Dirt Saw. Nice to have you here. Johnny No Good, of course. Great to see everyone. Let's see. Astro Geo. Hey, welcome to the show. Sinclair Crypto. Hexander. Blue Bum. Hey, Blue Bum, what's happening, brother? Good to have you. Hexdoshi, always. Hexkin Power. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Crypto King in the house. Yes, yes. And pumping our guest bags. Hexkin Dude. Welcome, Hexkin Dude. And Kool-Aid. Good to see you, bro. I'm glad you're in tonight. Haven't seen you for a while. I was getting a little worried about you. I was getting ready to send out the posse. Hey, and ahoy to you too, Melv Tony. Let's see, what else we got? Nas Hex and Sammy Chica. What's up? Hey, Sammy's getting ready to do another Ladies of Hex Discourse Syndicate mutiny. They're gonna mutinize the ship, and they're gonna do their Friday night thing. And hey, there might be something special. You never know what those girls might do. You never know what those girls might do. They're pretty crazy. I get to be a fly on the wall in their chat room. And I'll tell you, they got some wild shit for you guys coming up here. So pay attention to the girls when they come on, because I think they're getting ready to have a bunch of fun. I saw them all in there chatting. Blaze was in there, and Pollyann was in there, and Sammy, and all the rest of the gals, and the Annette was in there. They're all talking. So they got special stuff for you guys coming. Let's see. Deepak Kumar. What's happening? Motley, yo, what's up, Motley? Another one of my little nephews. Him and Coffee, man. They're like my little nephews. Let's see. Who else is in here? Crypto Goose. Man, just all kinds of you guys. Welcome, everybody. COG. Always good to have you. Always good to have you, you little fucking troll. Or you big troll. He's kind of a big guy, dude. He's a big dude. He is a big dude. He's like DC size. Those two are like the Twin Towers, man. Him, and he's a big dude. But anyway, COG, always good to have our I'm gonna have to call him our head troll. He's been like the head troll for a while. Hey, Toby 1XOB. Thanks, bro. Hey, Timmy, good to have you too. You and I we need to get you on stream. You and I need to talk, man. That was haven't had a sit down with you since we went and had dinner over there in Arizona. That was cool. That was cool. All right. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring up, so this guy, he shows up in the Hex community and just starts like throwing down serious content, like professional shit. Like he throws down online convention when we were all just streaming. He throws down like serious freaking heat and brings it with professionalism and like a doctorate's degree. So he speaks well. He has great questions. He's a great promoter. He's a great producer. He's just freaking this guy, Matty, man. He's just been tearing it up out there. So good to have him on. And everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pirates and hexicans, our master streamer, Matty Allen. How's it going, bro?
Hey, how's it going?
Good to have you, man. Good to have you.
I've been so inspired by DS, not only before I started streaming, but as of late. And so my hat's off to you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Now that we're sitting here, like, jerking each other off and having fun. But anyway, no, you know what, bro? Again, I'm glad that we've inspired a lot of people. Because you guys have all brought a lot more content. I mean, the content that the Hexkins are producing now is just, freaking way above bar. It may be a lot for everybody to digest, but you know what? It's catching eyes all over, and people are seeing what they want to see. You know what I mean? And So there's something for everybody out there now. You know, if you like this one or that one, or, you know, the Quant Gang, or if you like, you know, Balliet Brands stream, I mean, whoever it is, you know, there's something for everyone out there now. And I really dig that. And I'm glad that, you know, we have been able to take some of the credit for helping the community to grow.
Yeah, I listen to everything. I'm
you're a content whore. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, it's like when people say they listen to all different types of music and they're lying, but they just want to, like, you know, be liked or something. But it's the truth. Like, I love all the Hex content. And have you been in the t.me/Hex crypto chat much? The voice chat?
Oh yeah. You know what? It's funny you say that, because so this morning I go to the gym at like 0:30 in the morning. Gym opens at 5. My first day in the gym, a real gym again. They just opened it up. So I went there this morning at 5, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to listen to, or what stream am I going to, you know, listen to while I'm working out or whatever? Cause that's what I like to do. I throw my earpods in, and I just turn on a stream and let it go, you know? And so this morning I said, well, you know what? I'm going to listen to the voice chat in the Hex in the Telegram room. And I turned it on, and sure as shit, man, there was a group of 4 or 5 guys in there talking, about 10, 12 people listening. And I listened for a little while, and I just jumped in and started talking with them a little bit. So that was cool, man. That was cool. And then at any given time, I could just turn that damn thing on. And I mean, even right now with our stream going, I'll bet you anything, if I go into, let's see, if I go into the hex.com, let's see. And here they are. Look. And it's Brasology's in there. Oh, he's listening. Who's out? Oh, he left. Caught you, bud. I caught you. So I'm going to say something in there. Hey, all you guys in there listening to this, get over there and watch DS. What are you doing in here? Hey, what are you guys doing? Let's see. Hello. Wow. Didn't you hear them? What are you guys? Yeah, get your asses in there. Yeah, get in the chat room, get out of Telegram, and get off of this thing, and get in and watch DS.
That's an order.
That's an order by the captain. They're all telling me to go fuck myself. All right. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So the voice chat is always going. You could jump in there and talk to anybody. And it's really cool. It is kind of cool. You can just jump in there anytime and talk to Hexkins. I like that. So anyway, I've been playing with that too. Yep. How about you?
Yeah, I was on there for an hour or two last night talking and listening mostly. There have been a number of times when I just get on there and I don't have to say anything. I just listen, and there's lots of good content. Right on.
So all right. So enough this small talk. You know what, Matty, we've been on many streams together, and I don't think we've ever done like a one-on-one like this, have we?
Well, we did. That was, you did a stream when I was kicking off Hex Therapy, and it was just you and I at first. And then DC came in, right? Yeah. He joined in afterwards, and we started going, that's right. Well, no, I was, now that you mentioned that, I remember, and we probably asked all the regular, hey, how long did you get into crypto? How long was it you've been in crypto, and blah, blah, blah. We did all of that stuff. But I've been thinking a little bit about you, and how you've kind of brought a very different angle to the Hex community. And you've brought this mental health take or stance, and I was very intrigued by it, and I've been watching it and listening, and I've seen some of your streams with others, and I've watched Joe do some of his streams because he kind of sits along the same theme, and I myself have been into the mental health I guess scene for my own mental health for quite some time now. And so I was always intrigued to listen and hear what it was that you were talking about, because I suffer from addiction and whatnot. I haven't really talked a whole bunch about it, but I mean, it's been many years since I've had any issues with it. But
I'm always interested in listening to mental professionals, especially with your crypto angle. And what made you bring that into this space? You know, I'm going to lose my camera. I'm going to turn on my fan because it's already getting warm here with all the lights. So go ahead. I can hear you.
Yeah. So, I guess it was my neuroscience background where I learned that contingency management is that's where you pay people to either quit a drug or to adopt a healthy behavior like losing weight. Contingency management has the strongest effect size out of any psychological intervention, way more than talk therapy. So even though that's what I do as a therapist and counselor, working with people who have mental health and addiction problems, you know, it's I still have the science background, and the science background says that it would be way more effective, and it is. I mean, the studies show that paying people to improve their lives is super effective, and so that always kind of like stuck with me. And then when I heard about crypto and just all the ideals that are behind it, and that was, you know, back with Bitcoin and everything, before Hex became the hardest, most immutable type of cryptocurrency. You know, it's a lot of the stuff that you talk about on your show, and you bring guests on, and it's, you know, hard money means that it is digitally scarce, it's provable by math and by supercomputers, consensus networks, and so the idea of combining these two things, which is a way to help people by programming mental health into money through Hex and through cryptocurrency, that's like, I've been wanting to do that for a number of years now. And so I'm just really excited to have a community that really embodies these ideals and these kind of behavioral targets.
Well, I like it. I really like what your take was. One stream I heard you say something about when you were talking about rewarding people for good behaviors. And there was a small talk, and I don't know if I brought it up or if it was brought up, about devices, and these devices monitoring and measuring our behaviors also, and then also adding to your rewards. Because, you know, I mean, in my case, you know, I was how can I say that? I don't want to get too deep into my situation, but anyway, sure. Some people pay a lot of money for recovery, addiction, behavior recovery, incarceration, all these types of things, where instead of spending that money to rehab, like spending that money to pay themselves to rehab themselves through, yes, like you said, a reward program. And now, of course, I understand that there has to be some type of an element of mental health therapy because, you know, I mean, let's face it, all addictions are a symptom of an underlying problem within somebody's psyche. So they're just a symptom. They're not the actual problem. You know, the problems are deep-seated, you know, whatever it is that person decided that they want to self-destruct or do whatever they're doing. Those are the behaviors that have to be changed. But physical addiction itself can be one of those things that you can work on with those devices and a reward system and all that kind of stuff. So I was thinking, you know, breathalyzers, you know, what do they got now? These Fitbits that track your physical, you know, activities and whether you're being a healthy person or whatnot. And maybe even going as far as having a refrigerator that monitors, you know, what it is that you're eating or whatever, you know, having a breathalyzer that you can take every day and that kind of stuff. Or maybe even, you know, a finger prick that you have to put your, you know, I don't know. And, but there's all kinds of ways that these devices can start tracking your behavior. And of course it would be nice if that wasn't something that the man got a hold of, and that, you know, it was something that was decentralized and you can choose on your own, just like Hex. You know, you can choose to participate in that program for yourself. You know, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And it's not possible without programmable money. because with physical money, you can't give it to yourself and like program rules into it, right? You either have it or you don't, and you either have to use somebody else as your checking system, or and then it's the whole problem. Well, I mean, there's benefits and problems with having other people hold your rewards for you. But programmable money provides the most flexible and elegant solution, I think. And so, yeah, like you're saying, I mean, even Fitbit, I believe they have a feature now on their latest model where it can detect if you're yelling at someone and record.
That fucked me up.
And so you could pay yourself to like not yell at your partner or your kids or something. Like
I do most of my yelling in the car at the drivers in my neighborhood and stuff. But yeah, no. And then what I was thinking is you make a bunch of steaks, and then you blow a bad breathalyzer or you yell or something. It emergency end steaks something. Boom.
That's right. Yeah, that would be super effective, especially the more the price goes up, right?
I guess it'd be like the deeper and deeper you get into realizing your stakes, you're gonna want to be better and better, right?
Yeah.
So right on. Well, yeah, I was interested in that. I wanted to talk about it a little bit, and let's see. RG's Fitbit will go off every 10 minutes. Yeah, I do have a yelling issue in my car. I've been on conferences at work and forgot to hit my mute. Just being quiet and in my car and been in sales meetings and stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm calling somebody some crazy name and they're like, could you mute your phone? I'm like, oh shit. And of course they know who it is, but anyway, I've even got a pirate reputation at work too now, but anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, Matty, episode 99 too. Here we are, like 99. Can you believe we're 99 episodes into this?
That's amazing.
On Wednesday, Hexo's coming on with me. So, I started this with Hexologist. It was I went to him and it was his idea that I start streaming and so I came up with this kind of format to just bring Hexicans on and do the Friday night thing. And of course I told him, let's do a 24-hour stream. And we did. And he took all the credit for it. No, he didn't take the credit for it. He got all the credit for it. But anyway, because he's always been the man. He was the man. And he's been like the leader of the community for a long time, from the beginning, of course. And so, we just all kind of followed in his footsteps,
Well, yeah. And you both really lift everybody else up and it's really, like I said before, it's inspiring and it's really commendable, the work that you do, because it seems like you set the example for how people in Hex should be. And it's an outstanding example.
Oh, thank you. I don't know how to give an example other than we turn the stream on it, on a regular basis. That's really, what we've been example of. But also, of course, the way we, how can I say this? The way that we've guided the community in learning about Hex and learning how to be a responsible Hexican, I guess. We've called people out when they've needed to be called out, but we've also done things like work on trying to build bridges with other communities, and even with our stream with Nicole now, that Nerd Girl, we're actually reaching out to other crypto communities, and this show here is reaching out to financial communities and YouTube communities, and doing everything that we can to promote some goodwill, because there was a long time there that we were really bitter, I mean, we were all getting mushed in the face and slapped around by the whole crypto community, and we didn't know why. And I mean, we kind of knew why. It was all kind of a culmination of different things. I think I think Tone Vase had a big deal, big to do about it, because he from the beginning was very a very big asshole towards Hex, for lack of a better term. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And then we had a kind of an internal fudster do his little thing in the beginning of in the beginning of Hex. So it just kind of all snowballed from there and went downhill. And, so for a good year, the first part of the launch there, we were all pretty bitter, and we were combative. but it made Hexkin strong, because we were out there, and it brought us together, because the Twitter battles, whenever somebody would jump on a Hexkin in Twitter, we'd all fire off. It was like you couldn't attack one Hexkin without getting the whole bunch, and it was on. That person would just turn their shit off and start banning people because they couldn't take it.
Well, the community that the people in Hex build, it's something that it can't be copied and it can't be imitated, and it's really, it's mind-boggling, like how strong we are as a community, and I think that that's because of everything that we've been through, and the leadership that's existed at all levels.
Yeah, it's a culmination of all those things. So it's from the top down. Richard, of course, him educating us and giving us confidence to go out there and speak to people about Hex, and to speak to people about what state crypto is in. I knew what state crypto was in. I knew it was a cesspool. It was bullshit, and I was ready to walk away from it. And Richard just made it easy to go, you know what? Enough's enough. This is bullshit. See, I didn't think that anything could save crypto. I listened to Richard, and I hoped, well, maybe that's the guy that can do it. And as soon as Hex came out, that's why I had to start a stream. That's why I had to get involved, because I knew that was the guy that was going to save crypto and give it its fucking soul back, because it was ripped out of it. The soul of crypto, Satoshi, I believe, had a vision, and he made something incredible, and he was really trying to change the world with it. I think that, he may not have thought of it that way, but he's like, yeah, this thing could, and then he did it, and he launched it. And the old cypherpunk movement, they were probably all, very libertarian minded, and said, yeah, this thing can do that. And then the whorehouses opened up, and it was just a free for all PT Barnum circus and whorehouses. And that's what crypto turned into. Big cesspool. It was like, I've been in some foreign countries, and it was like the red light district in a lot of, really trashed out countries. And
crypto sold out.
It did. It sold out. And the problem is that you've got two different types of community members in crypto in general. It's not, I shouldn't put everybody in this vague category, but what you have is you have these very intellectual, smart guys, like say Vitalik, right? So you've got these smart dev guys that really understand, the technology world. And then on the other hand, you've got predator marketers that just grabbed a hold of this and grabbed a hold of those nerds. And I kind of explained it like, you got a Breaking Bad type of situation going on here. It's like, hey man, I could take your brains and we can make some really cool drugs and freaking get it out into the world. And the scientist was like, oh shit. Okay. And that's kind of like what we got here in crypto, was like this situation where some of the most intelligent people on the planet today with the greatest ideas for finance got preempted by a bunch of predator marketers, and they took it over, and we have what we have today. It's like, yeah, let's make an exchange. We'll rip these motherfuckers off left and right. You watch this. And they've all gotten filthy rich, Yeah. And
they think, or they say that they're, bringing freedom to the world, that they're banking the unbanked, right? It's just a bunch of propaganda. And of course they have to know what they're doing when they're taking people's private keys away from them and giving them pitiful amounts of interest. The whole thing is just like you said, it's a circus. I love the Breaking Bad analogy. That's spot on.
Yeah, I mean, it was so. So when I saw Richard, I was like, okay, so Richard is like this tween guy. He's a street smart marketing genius, but he's also smart enough to be able to talk to devs and tell them what they need to do. And then he had a big enough heart to do the right thing. That's what I saw in Richard. I'm like, this guy has potential to fucking really do this, man. Really has potential to do this. And I think he has. It hasn't come full circle yet. It's there. Everything's there. Our community's there. Coin's there. The greatest promoter I think that crypto is ever going to see is there. It's just crypto is such a cesspool. It just hasn't caught up to us yet. It just hasn't caught up to us yet.
And I'm not sure that it will. I mean, it's good to ask the question. I think, how can we continuously make sure that we don't rebuild the old system on the new system that's supposed to save us? And that's not a question that other crypto communities are asking themselves.
No, because they're in the middle of it, or their coins or their communities are in the middle of it. And I know there's a lot of good people over there. We might have got a bunch of them, that came over to here because they were like, oh, this is the place to be. But I think that those other communities have people that are longing for their project, product, coin, community, whatever, to do what it is Hex is doing and what Hexkins are doing. I think that there's people over there that long for that. And the longer that we get out, the more that we get out there and the longer that we do this, the more people that we're going to capture. Like Richard has said it many, many times. He said, we need to get them away from their money, get their money out of bad things and put it into good thing, get it out of their hands so they quit wrecking themselves with the trading and the margin stuff and all the other crap coins and the this and the that that's out there, and get them into something good and get them into a good community and put their mindset back in place. Get rid of that trading mentality, turn on the saving mentality, turn on the long-term mentality, making crypto great, and bringing financial stability. Actually, Hex has the ability to bring financial stability to the world if enough people start to utilize it and use it. I mean, there's nothing on the planet like it right now, and people just don't understand that yet. They just don't.
They will.
They will. No, you're right. They will, and we're going to be the beginning of that dissemination of the information, and which brings me to a point that speaking of dissemination of information, I wanted to go ahead and bring you on tonight. You were going to come on with Dev Kyle and kind of make an announcement, but you and I have been talking in the background, and I want you to go ahead and make the announcement that everybody's been waiting for us to hear.
We're going to do a Hex meetup.
Well, it's a little more than a Hex meetup. So Matty has been instrumental in putting together. So he put the Hex conference together, which was a freaking phenomenal success. It was well done. My hat is off to him for what he did. His production value in that thing was just incredible. I gotta admit, I was like, fuck this thing. Oh my God, really? Are we going to do this? Because it was right after Big Payday, right? That we did that.
Yeah.
So it was after Big Payday. We had the dump. Everybody was like fucking worn out. And it's like, God damn it, Matty's going to do this thing. We all got to get on stream and do this again. And we just did a 24-hour stream and blah, 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 blah. So, but as I saw you develop the production, as I saw the quality of work that you were doing, I was very impressed, and I reversed my opinion of it. And it wasn't really my opinion. It was just that I was tired, lazy, salty old fucker. And
you could have fooled me because you were very encouraging. You made
because every
instrumental design decisions.
But when you were doing the work, every time you did that, I was inspired by every little piece of work you did. I was like, okay, I'm going to get an assignment. We're all going to get an assignment, and I'm going to have to fucking do this thing. I didn't realize that you were going to put so much into it, and you did, and you impressed me. And every time you did excite me more and more every time. So I did get more involved. So my hat's off to you. You did a great job, and I hope that we just continue to do that every year. There's nothing like having a great online convention for everybody. because not everybody will be able to get to something like what we're talking about right now, which is a meetup. And I think that you and I both agree this in the world of COVID, setting up a big convention is not the right thing to do right now. Especially, everybody's kind of staked out until next year or something. And maybe funds aren't quite there. Some people are buying Lambos, but not all of us, and, and nobody wants to spend their hex at $0.015. That's for sure. So, right. So we agreed that, the first big hex gathering, should be a meetup. We want to do it in Vegas. You've already got a whole curriculum set up. God damn it. I saw that. That was like, wow, dude, already. So guys, so Matty's already gone to work. I mean, he's put a whole Vegas curriculum. I've looked at it. I glanced over it actually, because I just got it this evening. He just gave it to me. And it is historical Vegas stuff, especially the Chicken Ranch visit. That was a good one, bro. That was a good one. So Matty's got all these wonderful tours set up for everybody. And so you can really experience Vegas in a couple of days. Go out there. The reason I've said to choose Vegas is because it's inexpensive. From anywhere in the world, for some reason, you can just get a ticket to Vegas, and it's very inexpensive. And hotels are inexpensive. And I think that if we work on something, we might be able to get a group rate and even get a better rate for it. So, but I think that's all stuff that's still going to be worked on, right, Matty?
Yeah, that's correct. And it's all been laid out in the program. But you're right. In fact, so the casinos in Vegas, they subsidize the airfare. So you can, they pay for part of your gas to get there, because so many people are not like the people in Hex and are compelled to gamble their money away foolishly.
Yeah. And I'm sure we got some Hexican fools out there too that would like to part with their money in Vegas.
Well, that's why I wrote a special section in the program about some tips and tricks for being responsible and even using an accountability buddy or two to
an accountability buddy.
Yeah. And I'm going to do a hex therapy stream, I think, about gambling, so that we can, really hit the issue to make sure that nobody in our community starts to develop the wrong kind of addiction. It's okay if you're addicted to buying hex. I think that'll be good for you. But
and then what I'll do, guys, to counter that is I'll get Kyle on, and we'll do a card counting stream for those of you who want to go out there and get wrecked. So we'll do that. So there's a curriculum set up already, guys. We're going to go to Vegas. We're going to do a meetup. And when do we want to do this, Matty?
So this is going to be, so it's kind of Thursday, June 24th is kind of like the first day, like pre-conference or pre-meetup. We're not going to be doing any talks or anything. It's people will be able to see from the program. But it'll be that Thursday for the people who want to join early. We're going to do one event that night, and then it would be Friday the 25th, Saturday the 26th, and Sunday the 27th. And the majority of the activities are going to be on Saturday, and there'll be a number of activities on Friday. So that gives you like 3 months, guys, to get ready for the meetup. I know a lot of people aren't going to be able to make it on even a 90-day notice. But hey, it's our first shot. It's our first meetup. Like I said, no speaking arrangements. Just we're going to have a couple of dinners, hang out, do a couple of things. There's going to be some activities everybody can go to and spend time with one another. So we're gonna just make it like a big weekend long meetup, and hang out with each other in public and just have a good time getting to know one another. For those of you who can make it, and this is going to be the precursor to the big convention that's going to come in 2022. So Matty and I are hell bent on setting up a real hex convention, and we're going to springboard it from here. And we're gonna set up a real hex convention where we'll have people speak.
I don't know if we'll be able to get Richard to come to either one or any of that kind of stuff. Maybe we'll get him on the Jumbotron or something to speak live to everybody. I don't know. I don't know what his OpsEx all about this, maybe next year, but we'll see what happens. But I'm sure that a lot of the Hexkins will be, ready, willing, and able to jump up there and talk to you guys. And so we'll do some stuff like that. But yeah, we've got a whole year to plan for that. So Matty is ready to go, I'm sure.
That's right. Let's do it.
Right on. Hey, there goes the little dump right there. So we had a nice big dump at the beginning of the show, and here comes our little dump, the Discourse Syndicate dump. Anyway,
they're all buying plane tickets.
Everybody's buying plane
Don't
tickets.
Don't sell your Hex.
And what's
work harder at your job.
And what's cool is like the whole west side of the United States is pretty much, within a 10, 12 hour drive of there. It's like, anybody can get there pretty quick. And then East Coasters, really cheap for them to fly over. Florida, people in Florida, people on the East Coast, really cheap to fly over to Vegas. And then even our global friends. So we're going to do some research, myself and Matty, and we're going to find a hotel that does help to mitigate those costs and get your airfare down real low, and just to get you into their casino, just to get you into their hotel. So we'll set as good a deal up as we can for all of our global personnel, Hexicans. And so we're going to work on that. So any suggestions, you guys, go ahead and start throwing them in the chat. Anything you guys can think of, stuff you want to talk about. I think we're also talking about having a little contest too.
Absolutely, of course.
Right. So we talked about doing a contest for a t-shirt design, right?
That's right.
So we're gonna ask the community to come up with the best t-shirt design, and then vote on it or something, and then have our Hex t-shirt for the first meetup.
Yeah. There's there will be probably a couple situations where t-shirts will be the thing to wear, and then there are going to be some events that would be more formal than that.
So you plan on having a formal event? I have to bring my best.
Kareem is really into clubbing, and I low key am too.
What, seals or?
No.
Oh, what are you talking about?
It's nightclubs.
Oh, night clubbing. Oh, that was a boomer comment, huh? Anyway. Right on. No, I guess, there's plenty of that, in June. The swimming pool is a great place to be. There's a place called Rehab on one of the hot hotels, and I know that people like going to those. So there's going to be some serious. Well, I mean, we're still in a pandemic, so it's not going to be like freaking party town but I think we have to have a responsible meetup still a little bit, we'll see what happens here in the next few months, but I'm sure it's not going to be like open to party pandemonium. I don't think Vegas is doing what Florida did last weekend. It looks like they, yeah.
Yep. And I put notes in the program as well, of course, about, health and safety. And I don't think it's hopefully not anything too controversial. I'm a medical worker, so I already had my 2 shots and they went well. So I think that based on the production of everything, it's, I don't want to use any keywords here, but I think that there's going to be opportunity for people to make the right choice for themselves, what kind of health choices they're going to make.
Yeah, no. I know we've got a lot of, like double red pill Hexkins that don't want to even play that game. And we have some that want to be safe, and we have some that are, kind of somewhere in between. So we'll put some guidelines out there. And then of course we all have to abide by whatever Vegas rules are out there. But I'm thinking that within the next 90 days, we're going to have a lot of people vaccinated, and I don't know. And
Yeah.
some Hexicans don't even think that's working, but whatever. We'll see how things go. If it's not a big deal, then if it is what some of you think it is, then hey, you don't have to worry about it. Hey, thanks Sinclair Crypto. Check it out. We just got us a $4.99 super chat. Thanks Sinclair. Appreciate your support, man. We appreciate you. Thanks a lot. So that'll be it. We're going to start planning it. Matty's at the helm, and when he does things like this, they always turn out fantastic. So I'm excited to be part of it and to help out where and when I can. I spend a lot of time in Vegas, my days. It's only 5 hours away. I've been in Vegas since Elvis was playing there when I was a little kid. I spent a lot of time. Well, every year, I was raised by a single mom that was she was 15 years old when I was born. So for a while there, it was just her, and my grandparents kind of took over, and then my mom remarried my dad that just passed away this last year. But the Vegas trips every year where they take us up to Sequoia or Yosemite, and we do this little camping trip or something. I got to see all of California's Big Sur, all that. And then after we were done, my grandmother was a freaking Vegas nut. So after we were done camping for, like a few days, a week, it was on the way home, we went to Vegas. And back then the only place was Circus for kids, So we stayed at the Sands or the Dunes or whatever, but every night we packed it up and we went over to the Circus. And the kids had the upstairs with all the games. It was like, it was like a carnival, these shooting games and, skeet ball and all that kind of stuff, and we'd go upstairs, run out of quarters, and then we'd run back downstairs, and grandma would be sitting at the blackjack table, and we'd tug on her dress and she'd hand us some chips, and we'd go running off to the, back then they had chip girls. So the chip girl would be walking around. They had cigarette girls and chip girls, and the chip girl would be running around, and she'd cash you out, and then we'd run back upstairs with the quarters and stuff them into machines, and that was running around underneath the roulette tables with the pit bosses chasing us and kicking us out and shit. It was insane, man.
Yeah, it's still exactly the same at Circus. They have all kinds of carnival and video games, everything you could imagine. People, whoever went to arcades, I was there last summer, and it was a blast. And then they still have, it's the only place in Vegas where they have physical coin slots still.
Oh, that's where you can still stick a coin in a slot machine, huh? That's
right. Yeah, and then you hear them,
Do they still pour out
whenever you win? Yeah. Oh yeah.
See, I missed that because people be running around with those big cups, like they'd be the big cups full of them. They'd be like carrying them around and going up to the thing, and boom, putting them on the counter and cashing them out. But now it's like you get a chit. You get a chit and you go over to the thing and they throw the money out for you. Little anticlimactic. I guess it's better, but anyway, I miss the old days with hearing all the change falling down. Now it's all just bells and whistles and dings and dongs and all that shit. But back in the day, it was, you could hear those freaking coins just falling all over the place. It was badass. Remember that sound?
That's right. Sound of winning. Yeah, jackpot.
Yeah, what, dude?
When Hex makes every day, right?
Yeah, when I look at my staker app, that's how I feel every day. I mean, how many people like count their shares and do the math and go, man, I just made that much today. I just made that much this month. Wow, holy shit! I mean, it is insane. The staking gains that we are getting, and I don't know how much longer. I mean, so two things are going to happen, Matty. So either we're going to continue to make mad gains like this and just like fucking keep, sitting back going, or the price is going to go up, and the gains will slow down, but the price is going to go up, and then we're going to be like, anyway, right? So Hexicans who are staked out, if you're part of this what are we at? 9% now? Is that where we're at? Or are we still under 9% staked?
I mean, there's a lot of people, if the price goes down, they're going to be laughing all the same, because they
and then we can buy. I got dry powder. I mean, no matter what happens in Hex right now, like the sideways action, I think is like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? But I mean, the gains that you're making every day because of the low staking, percentage is just freaking phenomenal. So there's something to be happy about with no matter what Hex does, there's something to be happy about, I mean, it's so freaking awesome, man. It's like, oh, it's going to be a dip. I'm going to buy a little. Oh, wait, no, it's going back up. Great. Awesome. My bags are getting bigger,
Yeah.
And then all the while, no matter what, whether it goes up or down, you're making more Hex.
What other crypto has that attitude?
None. It's just fear. It's just fear, uncertainty. It's just fear, uncertainty, and doubt in their own minds all the time. Is my coin going to get shut down? Is something going to happen? Am I going to get rug pulled? Oh God, maybe I should put over here. Maybe I should chase this one. Oh no, I need some of this. Oh no, I need some of that. Oh God, it's going down. I'm going to sell. No, I got to buy it back. I mean, all that shit, that's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Let's see. Somebody says, I have made just as much in Theta. Well, here's the thing, guys, is all those other coins, a lot of them, they're pumping. Hey, El Hexadente. Thanks for the 369 super chat. I mean, they're going to pump, and, people, nobody knows what they're going to do. I mean, we have Theta because, we stream on Theta. So we have the Theta that we've been given. So we're just gonna let that sit there. And any other coin that we get, we're gonna just keep in the where they got the T fuel over there or whatever. But I think that's I think the T fuel is just an internal coin. I think Theta is the only thing.
I figured out what to do with it.
With what? With the T fuel?
The T fuel.
Oh, what do you figure out how to do?
Because I was just buying it, to see how it worked, and it's different than the Theta coin.
Yes.
Right. So the T fuel, it turns out once you send it to your certain wallet on their system, like, you can't send it back to an exchange. It's like a one-way thing, but, they sell
merch.
Some actually like expensive things. Like I ordered a $250 chair, like a streaming chair.
Oh, really?
I mean, like things like a webcam, if you get on there when they offer it and you figure out how to do the redemption thing, you could like get on eBay and like resell those. So that's the way to cash out of your Theta.
There you go. Well, KNTX figured it out too. He was like, "Hey, dude, this Theta thing, there's a store there, And I was like, "What do you mean?" Well, so like you gave us a pretty sizable donation. Like in the beginning, it was cheap or whatever, and you gave us a pretty sizable donation when we first started. And I think that turned into like $5,000 worth of Theta for the T fuel.
It's gone up a lot. I don't know if it's that much. I think a lot of other people contributed too, but yeah.
I mean, we've got a monster bag now. I mean, it's huge. The T fuel bag is huge. And, but you weren't the only one. I mean, something that you gave us, I think, shot up like crazy. And, but the T fuel bag has gone up, but KNTX was saying it's an internal thing. You got to kind of buy their things, like a skeet ball ticket. You got to buy the gifts that they give you. And, but yeah, that's a great idea. You just throw it up on one of the eBays or whatever and get something and sell it real quick, but yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, hey, congratulations on those of you who got your Theta tokens. I mean, it was only any platform that is built by the people that it's built by, that's going to try and be decentralized. I mean, I think they're going to do well. So it was a smart move if you did, do that. I didn't, because I'm fully invested in Hex and that's all I really invest in. So, I'd rather not have to depend on price go up so much as I'm building freaking generational wealth. I'm building a big bag of Hex, because when Hex does its trick, when it does its move, it's going to be phenomenal. I mean, you're not going to be able to touch these bags. That's for sure. Hexagon bags are going to be thick.
Yeah, that's the best part. I mean, in Hex, you know, it creates monetary value by slowing down the velocity of money. In Bitcoin, I mean, people aren't using the lock function. It's there. You would have done really well if you locked your Bitcoin at any point, right? But that's where Hex really picks up the slack and goes to another level.
Well, it's one thing to lock it.
Can't get.
It's one thing to lock it, and another thing to lock it and get something for locking it.
Very true.
Oh, look at that! Thank you, Sammy Chica. Thanks for the $5 sip of chat. Hey, so Sammy, I think it's next weekend, right, Sammy? Next Friday? I think this Friday coming up. They're going to be doing their the ladies of Discourse Syndicate are going to mutinize the ship and take over, and they've got a plan for you guys. That's all I can say. They got a plan for you guys. So don't want to miss that one. The gals are collaborating. That's for sure. 5 p.m. PST. Yes. So at 5 p.m., a couple hours right before the stream for the Friday night hangout, they're gonna come in, and all I can say is they've already picked. They've got their bar ready. Let's just say that they've been deciding what drink they were all going to get started with, and so they're getting ready for a party, guys. Getting ready for a party. So anyway, back to what were we talking about? The velocity of money. The velocity of money. I wanted to touch on that subject because exactly what Hex does is puts the brakes on that shit, man. I mean, storing value. Nope, there isn't a financial product on the planet other than buying a damn house that has staked you for longer than 15 years. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's a lose. When you buy a house, it's a lose. You know, you're losing. I mean, if you buy a house with a 30-year mortgage, even at low interest, and you pay by the time you're done with your 30 years, the value of your house hasn't even caught up to what you've paid for it. So it's just like, it might, if you're lucky, it might. Like my grandfather, he bought his house for, I want to say $12,000 back in the day, and his places were close to $650 or something like that. So maybe, but it's been there since the 40s, you know. So I mean, that's a long time to be sitting in an investment like that. And plus, if you're living in it, you know, the man's gonna live and die in his home, and it's not gonna, he's never gonna realize anything unless he was to do like a reverse mortgage or something right now. But anyway, yeah, you only earn profit on a house, and it's only realized after you sell it. You're right. Or you rent it out and buy another one, and rent that one out and buy another one, and rent that one out and buy another one, rent that one out. So there are people that I know that are very wealthy in Southern California from doing that. That is, you know, rental properties. There's money in that. So, but other than that, a 30-year mortgage doesn't get you much. So anyway, the velocity of money being changed by Hex in the real world, as far as finance goes, away from the housing thing, has been really eye-opening to me, because there's nothing else out there that's doing that. Like you said, everything is hyperinflated, hyper speed. Everything is going fast. The stock market is going fast. I sat down with my advisor the other day to kind of look at things, and I'm looking at him going, dude, we've been in this bull run in the stock market for, the last 10 years. I mean, we look at it historically, and it's like, is now the best time to put in? And then, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, everyone's still bullish on the stock market because money's being printed and stocks are still being traded, and everybody's still running into it. So it's like, well, I guess they're going to run it for a while longer. I don't know. But yeah, man, the velocity of money is just freaking out of this world. And the other thing that this advisor said, which is, let's just say one of the top banks, without giving the name, they're setting up a crypto fund. This is tippy top of the bank. So they're setting up a fund too, and they're looking into the building their own crypto. So I don't know how good.
I guess they didn't read the definition of crypto.
Well, of course they did, and they want to redefine it as what they want to do. That's what they're interested in, because they don't want to be they don't want to be left out. They don't want this thing to take them over, because they want to be part of it, or they think that they can preempt it. I don't know. That's one of the things that I worry about is, all the banks' involvement, and they've already done a pretty good job at infiltrating crypto, with all these funds. I mean, the reason we're pumping is because centralized money is coming in, right?
Why Bitcoin and crypto is pumping in general?
Yeah.
It's great. The old bait and switch. Here, buy into Bitcoin while Richard created this other thing, and the community grows in a way that creates new whales and has a low enough liquidity, so big investors have to stay away. It's not like they understand it in the first place, and if they did, they wouldn't be able to get in right now. Sorry.
No. Yeah, it's a tough time to get in. That's for sure.
You know what? I bet they're waiting for their bribes. That's what everybody's waiting for. That's why nobody's talking about Hex in the centralized media and stuff. They're all they think that there's a bribe coming, and it's not. It's not coming.
No. You're right. There might who's gonna grease me? Come on. Where's that ETH at? Where's that ETH? I mean, right. I think you're probably right. Everybody's, probably even that might be why CMC is doing what it's doing. It's like, hey, where's our share of that ETH? You want us to fix this thing? Where's our share?
Don't we know how crypto works? Come on, Hexicans, you have to pay up.
Pay up, bitch.
So they can dump on our heads. It's no.
I know. I saw somebody tweet just a little while earlier. I don't know if it was Pomp or who it was, but one of the maxis is complaining. It was why is it at the beginning of the month we pump, Bitcoin pumps, and at the end of the month it dumps? It's fucking electric bill, motherfucker. Duh. It's come on, they're paying the electric bill. What are you thinking? What do you think? Why do you think it dumps and pumps and it dumps every month? They're cashing out on your heads, motherfuckers.
Got to pay for that security racket, right?
It's paying for the security racket. Pay up. So, I mean, I don't know. It's still a wild world in crypto there. I'm guessing that we've still got another pump here with the Bitcoins, and the institutional money is going to keep playing and keep coming, and we're going to see an extended bull market, I suppose. I mean, I thought for sure this thing was getting ready to top out, and I mean, it's kind of weird. There's there's all these signals that are screaming tops here. But then there's a lot of bullish activity going on out there too, that's saying we ain't done yet. So I don't know. This is going to be a very strange cycle. It's going to be a very strange cycle indeed. Not for us.
I mean, aren't the institutions, aren't they supposed to sucker in Main Street at the end? That's the one top that I'm not necessarily seeing, but maybe it's there and I just don't know.
What are you talking about as far as them bringing in, just you're getting out there and starting to promote and bring in mainstream regulars?
Yeah, I mean, I've only been, this is only my second bull market. So I'm still learning, but it just seems like, Main Street hasn't been buying in, or that's not the narrative, that it's been all institutional money that's been buying in and really moving the price. So like either Main Street can't move the price, or
No.
they haven't been like, led to the slaughter yet. And either way, it's like, how much interest is Bitcoin paying you to like hold your own private keys?
So I have a little theory about that, and it's not like, I'm pretty like it's in stone or whatever. I think that, like you said, so we haven't seen this like in 18 or 17, we saw mainstream just come like crazy. It was like bull run, man. Everyone ran up the hill, and then they got slaughtered all off the edge of the cliff. It was just, one of those, running the buffalo off the edge of the cliff kind of situation. Right? And I'm not seeing that here. I keep seeing institutional money come in and pump. And then I see wrecked plebs like not wanting to get back in. Well, I mean, a lot of them are priced out of coming back in. And a lot of them, because a lot of those people got educated in 2017. And those people aren't going to come rushing in like they did. They probably didn't buy a lot of Bitcoin at 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. And now it's too expensive for them to get in. They know that they're probably not going to see a 2x on their money. And they're all, even when they try and come in, they're getting their hands burned on the hot iron that is, DeFi and all the shit that is juicy looking. They're getting burned on it. So it's keeping all of the mainstreamers away, I think, because it's not just a solid bull run. It's like, boom, big institutional money come in, price goes up too fast, people get priced out, they can't even get into it, and then they're too scared to get in after that.
I mean, once people start selling, because they bought it at 6,000 and now it's gone up to 30,000, like they don't want to buy back in at 40,000, like, because they're getting allergic to the price, and like they've already taken the gains, to like do some real world activity. Or like, just people want to like, take profits, and then again, it's not, Bitcoin isn't rewarding people enough. It's not, the incentives are all wrong. I mean, they're not all wrong, but it's just like, it's not as good as Hex.
No, definitely not. No. I mean, the one thing I'm seeing is a lot of the new coiners that are coming in. No coiners are the ones that took a look at it before and didn't really get involved and got wrecked a little bit. They're not coming in as hard as they did when they came in 17. Like in 2017, I seen like average people dumping in like 10, 15, 20 grand. They were like in, they were all in with some good size amounts of money, and now I'm seeing people wanting to come in for, $1,000, $1,500, $3,000. I'm seeing lower amounts of people coming in, no coiners and newer folks coming in at lower amounts than they did, back then. So I think the confidence in the crypto market itself, even though there's this big giant, but see, this big bull run was all pressed by a couple of big market buys. We had these big market buys, and that was it. It was like, oh, price is already too far gone for anybody to get in. Oh, past all-time highs. Oh shit, it doubled again. So then it was like, oh crap. Within a matter of a couple months, you had a 2x on all-time highs when it was sitting at 3 to 5K. A few months before that. So it's like, oh shit, that was fast. So I think people are slowing down, getting in, and they're having a hard time. So, and then it doesn't help the altcoin market with ETH doing the shit that it's doing. God damn, ETH, get your head out of your ass. Get your head out of your ass. I mean, that is a pathetic situation. I don't know if they're waiting to capitalize on something. I don't know if Vitalik just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing when it comes to marketing, but they got to do something about this, because they're getting run the fuck over. I mean, when you got, good products like Hex going, all right, you got to fork your shit. You guys got your heads up your ass, so we ain't going to fuck with you no more. See you later. I mean, that's trouble. That's trouble. So that's fucking up the whole alt situation, you know, with ETH not pulling its head out of its ass. Because look, I don't want to say anything ill about the Matic network or anything like that, but it ain't ready for prime time. I mean, I fucking went over there, man. And that shit, when I got there, it was fun. And oh my God, it's a trader's freaking dream. It's like fucking crack over there, you know, making all of those, you know, move stuff around back and forth, this and that, make this trade, make that trade. You can do whatever you want. It was like, oh my God, I haven't spent any gas. And it was free. They gave me enough gas to do all this shit. 50 transactions, 60 transactions. Yeah. You know, it was like, you know, so that's what it was like over there. And then, but, it's just not ready for prime time. The UI interfaces over there are just dog shit. I mean, it's like your funds are there for a minute and then they're not there. And then they disappear for 15 minutes and then you can't get the wallet to work. I never lost any funds or had any problems. You know, I can always see my funds were always in there, you know, but the UI interfacing was just, I mean, if fucking a new coiner would fucking roll up in a ball in the corner and, you know, slit their wrists or something, because I mean, it was not for the faint at heart. That's for sure. Going over there and playing with those interfaces, those wallets and all that shit, you know? So, and then getting it back, you know, I didn't have any problems. I know Hexo had some issues trying to get his back. It took him a long time. One of his transactions got stuck and he was livid, man. He was like, holy shit, what the fuck are these guys doing, man? I can't get a hold of anybody to, you know, fix it. So, I mean, and it got his funds and everything worked out. And, you know, and I did mine right at that point. But I mean, the fuckery that you got to do in order to make crypto work, you know, is just, it's just ridiculous, because you look at these apps out there that allow you to transact, send people money. Like I just used Zelle the other day, you know, my wife had to make transfer some money over to the bank for me and this and that. And it was done. Oh, I was trying to buy some ETH. Get my shit. If you don't have, whatever you do, don't fuck around over a Matic if you don't have a bunch of ETH, right? Because, and then in order to move the ETH, you got to have ETH to move the ETH. So you're like,
that's right.
You're like stuck in a freaking rock and a hard place if you don't got you know, at least one ETH in there to make your transactions happen. So don't get yourself caught right now without having some ETH. So my wife says, Zells me. I said, hey, I got to put some money in this account, on my Coinbase account, you know? So boom, Zelle 3, you know, go on the app, send from the bank to my email address, boom. And 3 minutes later, it's on my phone, it's in my bank account, and I'm spending it. And it's like, that's how it's supposed to work, you know? And that was the real finance world. And then I take it over into crypto. So the whole reason for that was because I didn't have enough ETH in there. So I had to go get ETH, and I'm running onto this wallet and trying to get that wallet and trying to get this one to work and trying to get the ETH over there, get the USDC so I don't get raped over there at Coinbase and, you know, all this other shit that I was doing. And then I go to Atomic Wallet, right? And Atomic Wallet is KYC in now, by the way. So everybody doesn't know that. Atomic Wallet just started KYC. So I went to go do it. I've been doing transactions on Atomic Wallet for a while now. No problems. Boom. All of a sudden, they want my fucking shit. Bend over and spread them, RG. I'm like, God damn, here we go. We're already doing this shit again, right? So got KYC'd over there. And so finally, I get my shit over. And now I got to go over into the fucking Twilight Zone, which is the Matic network. And again, nothing wrong with it, but that's like my money's over there in the Twilight Zone, another dimension, with funky UIs. And I have to go over there and put it in this wallet and then do this transaction and wait 3 hours and do 3 different, you know, authorizations. And then fucking light the candles and fucking turn on the hooga music and fucking shake the rattles and make sure everything's hit the button, and hopefully my shit's gonna be over there, right? You know, and boom, it worked, and that was great. But it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that.
There was no message that said that it would take 3 hours to get off. Like when I was putting my money on there, it didn't say that it would take 3 hours to get off. It didn't say that I don't know if the fee's always higher when you get off, but it was just like, come on, like stop doing the same thing. Like they're just rebuilding the old system. Like
it's like using sticks and band-aids to fix a fucking blown off leg, right? So the crypto's got its leg blown off and it's like, okay, here, let's use these sticks and band-aids and see if we can fix that thing for you, and and it's just so much shit. And then it's like, okay, I gotta know what a Zk roll up is and a sync is and a fucking layer 2 and a poly matic network and a fucking what was the other one, the POS, and it's like, what does that fucking stand for, right? Oh boy, I'm really feel good about sticking my funds on something that's called the POS, right? So I mean, you've got to know all this shit, for a few minutes of and I don't know, man. I and everyone's saying, oh yeah, RG3 is really selling this crypto thing. I'm not. I think crypto up until now has sucked until Hex has shown up. And I mean, look, Hex has not failed me, not one little bit. I went into MetaMask, solid. Went into Uniswap, solid. Went into my Hex staking app, solid. Got my Hex, staked it, solid. It's been making interest gains every day, solid. Everything that's unstaked, solid. My funds are there. Boom, it's mine. Restake it. Boom, done. Solid. Making more gains every day. Watching the price. No big fucking nasty, crazy moves. Nothing. No finagling. No shenanigans. No bullshit. No exit scams. No nothing. Everything's great. And I'm just watching the whole rest of the crypto world just burn. Like, that meme with that little girl standing there watching the fucking houses and everything on fire all around her. And it's like, Hexican's got it good, man. If you're out there fucking around with the other shit, you're playing with fire because, man, fuck. Hex is just too good. It's too good in all this shit. And that's what's cool is I get to sit back and laugh. And yeah, I can go over there and play with that stuff and mess around just so I can talk to folks about it, because I know that our community is really like to see some solutions to some of the problems that we're seeing. But I mean, I'll be honest. I don't have any stakes coming out this year because I just had a feeling that 2021 was going to be that funky ass year for Hex. And not because of Hex, but because of ETH and, price not being where it should be. I just had a feeling that it wasn't going to do really, really good. So I staked everything out. I don't start my ladders until 2022. So I don't have any of the problems with ETH and all that are going on right now. But, it's not Hex's fault that all of this is happening, and even Richard, who sees it, is trying to come up with a solution. And
I've never been so happy to see someone get divorced as I have Hex and ETH. It's a beautiful thing. And I know it's like this is the very beginning of the split up, but it's I think it's going to be best for both of them, at least for one of them. So I mean, I never really hold very much ETH because I always thought it was very useful, before the fees were so high. And mostly because you can trade it for Hex. And that seems to be something that's been super rewarding to me and a lot of other people. But I was so happy when I heard Richard say that, he doesn't mind forking ETH and creating his own chain that isn't going to have all of the. There's nothing else that really. It's corruption. That's what I see, because on my old phone, I still have an article pulled up that is talking about coming in June 2020, ETH 2.0. And it's like, are they saying 4 more weeks or 4 more years? You know, but it's always like, you know, it's always right around the corner, and just endless. I don't know if they're going to go through every city in the world, naming all of their soft forks, but you know, Berlin soft fork is up next. These aren't real solutions. These are fake solutions to the fee problem, and that makes me highly suspicious. And so I went ahead, like I held a very small amount of ETH. I sold like probably half of it already, just because now I'm not married to it anymore, because I have reason to suspect that there may be a way to unstake in the future without having to hold Ethereum and be along for that shit show.
Yeah, no, I've done the same. I've exited all my positions. I hold a little bit of ETH just I just did this. I had some dry powder in case we had a nice dip, and I said, you know what, I gotta fix this stupid ETH thing, and I'm just gonna put a few ETH in there and let them sit there, and whatever they do, if you know, they're gonna stay there for freaking transactions or whatever, you know.
Totally.
And I'm not going to play that. I went through hell trying to, you know, this Matic thing, and I had a couple of people that I onboarded that screwed up and needed me to send them ETH. So I'm sending $100 ETH here and $100 of ETH there, and then it's costing me $60, $70 to send it. Now, before I know it, I'm like $500 in the hole sending people ETH, and just so they can have transactions and stake their Hex and do all that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Like,
I know.
like literally, like for a few $1,000s worth of Hex being staked, I'm in the hole like $300, $400, $500 just helping people out. And I'm like, you know, I'm nice, but I don't want to be that nice anymore. It's like, shit, I know you're my friends, my family, my peoples, but you know, you fucked, man. You guys got to fucking, I'm sorry it's costing you so much, but it's just the times. And then they look at it, they're no coiners. They look at it and go, why am I paying all this down? You know, they pay all these fees to get in, to onboard and to get into crypto. And then they pay all these fees to move it over into the wallet. And then they pay all these fees to stake it. And then they're like, I'm going to have to pay to get it out too. You know, and it's like, yeah, you might want to stick that shit out there for about 10 or 15 years. You know, don't, you know, because everybody, their first initial, you say, hey, okay, well, you set up a stake and you can do this and that. And they go, okay, 1 year's. Put in there for 1 year. And you're like, you know, let's talk about this a little bit. You know, I don't think you want to do a year. And then they're like, now they're thinking like, oh, you're trying to sucker me into this thing deeper, aren't you? You know? And, but then you have to really explain to them, see, they don't understand the value of shares. And then once you start getting into that, they start glossing over because they're already feeling fucked because of the ETH situation and the onboarding situation. And now you've got to explain Hex to them and why, you know, getting in for just a year is not going to help them any. Because I mean, nobody puts into crypto for a year, not even a year. You know, nobody wants to stake for a year. It's like, wait a minute, you know, I was thinking maybe 90 days, you know, maybe 6 months, you know. So anyway,
I went back on the blockchain to like uncover my first Ethereum transaction, and it turns out like I bought one Ethereum from Coinbase before I even knew what Coinbase was, and it was like I was willing to put $20 into it. So I got one Ethereum for allegedly $12.50, and I paid a $7.50 fee to Coinbase. And so
I was getting it when it was $13. I remember it was $13. I was getting a whole bunch of it, and I was like, okay, I'll hold some of this over here too.
I wish I would have bought more, but I only bought one. And like the idea though is that you know, I got totally ruined on the fees, but like then again, you know, how much is that one worth now?
Yeah. So, the one thing I don't ever want to do is run that damn function that tells you how much ETH you've spent.
Oh, that would be bad for your mental health.
Really bad, because all this shit that I've moved around, it's got to be like double-digit ETH, I'll bet, gone because of the old days. It was like when you were moving shit around, it was, you know, when ETH was cheap, it was like, it's fucking stupid. Anyway, so where was I?
So I mean, like it's interesting because I had randomly caught a clip of Vitalik talking about why Ethereum staking isn't going to pay high interest, and I'll have to dig it up and post the clip because it's just so good.
Because why would it? Why would it? Why would it be any good? Why would it? You know what I mean? I mean, their solution to the fees was, okay, let's make it even more expensive so people won't do transactions, and that'll slow everything down.
And now they're selectively raising the price of using the storage function, which Hex already does, which makes me think that we are already competing with them at such a strong level that they have to respond.
Exactly.
And so I think it's not, I don't think it's about block space. I think it's about which proof of stake coin is going to win the market. And I think that they're shaking in their boots. I think that
they're like, fucking Richard already did it. We're they can't do what as good as what he'd done. They can't.
Yeah, because we've got the benefit of the Genesis coins being paid out as a part of getting people on board to stake, right? That's where the reason that the 3.69% inflation isn't the maximum amount that we're getting paid right now is because there are part of the Genesis distribution of the coins that were created in the beginning are that's what's leading to the 40% APY that the OA is paying out.
Yeah, you're talking about the OA. Okay, yeah.
And that's genius. That has never been done before. The idea that you distribute them only to people who have the strongest hands. And by doing that, you create stronger hands because you're rewarding the behavior of staking. And then you're going to have a bunch of people who,
it perpetuates the proper behavior.
Yeah. And so
it creates better and better and better behaviors, because I would have never been look, I mean, I literally in the early days saw the value in Hex and emergency unstaked every fucking thing I had because I front ran the shit out of, big payday. I was gonna cash out sweet and try and walk off into the sunset. That was my thoughts, right? I'm like, this fucking thing's gonna moon. I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna cash out. And then as it was going, I'm like, no, that was a big fucking left turn when I should have made a right. Nope, fuck that up. Got to fix that shit. I emergency and staked every fucking thing I could and pushed that shit out. And bumped my shares up. And now my shares are so high that my daily payouts are fucking insane. And I love it. I just fucking love it, man, because we did the right thing. And Hex forced me to do that. Something that I would have never done. My mentality was still old crypto mentality. And Hex changed my behavior, changed my thought process, and changed me into how I thought about crypto and how to invest in it and how to stake. It changed my behavior because of the contract. And that's what it's going to do to everybody.
And then you changed my behavior and a bunch of other people's because we followed your lead and your instructions on really doing the math and seeing by ending those short stakes before the big payday. That was really beneficial. And so thank you for that. Are you like, oh, I think you maybe are frozen. So cool. He'll be back soon, I'm sure. Probably just an overheating error or something. How's everybody doing there in the comments? We're talking about Hex and kind of how it stacks up compared to Ethereum. And here we go. All right. People are asking for me to entertain. I've got a magic trick. No, I'm just kidding. Like thanks everybody for joining. Go ahead and hit the subscribe and like buttons, and make sure you turn on the notifications, because that's how you get to find out how to be a part of the live stream, right? Being in the comments is one of the best parts. And we've got a huge audience watching right now. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Now I want to make sure that everybody knows what the links are for this Hexakin meetup. And so the first link that you want is to the program. And this has just been announced here on this show, world premiere of the Hexakin.Vegas meetup. And so .vegas is a domain extension. And so you can go to the website http://hexakin.vegas. And that'll get you to the program. You'll be able to see everything that we've been talking about today. And then there are links within that to bring you to two different Telegram destinations. One is going to be a chat where people can plan their own, carpooling, car rentals, do side meetups and make it, make your own plans with the people in Hex that, that you might want to do an activity with. And so that is t.me/hex meetup. t.me/hex meetup is the chat. And then I created a separate channel. And the purpose of that was to make sure that everybody could keep their notifications turned on, because that channel will be a way for me to communicate with everybody on the fly. If we're in Vegas and, let's say that we've planned a dinner somewhere and the restaurant is suddenly closed, then I could send out something on that channel, and then you could have your notifications turned on. Whereas if it just kind of got lost in the group chat, then that might be a problem. So go to t.me/hex meet, MEET, in order to turn on those notifications for the channel. And then, like I said, the t.me/hex meetup for the chat.
Not MEAT, MEET, not hex.
Correct. Yeah.
Yep. So what did I miss? I don't know what happened. My computer froze completely. And
I froze too. Yeah. But I was still live and I was like, what do I do? What do I do? I have my own show. Like
you actually came back, or?
No, I was just like, surprised. And then then my instincts kicked in and I was like, oh, I know how to talk to people. And, then I went over what the links are to the.
Good. Yeah, everybody needs to know about that. Get in the chat room, start making suggestions, and we'll start moving this project forward and see if we can put a little meetup together. So that'll be cool. There's a question in here I wanted to bring up because it might be something that we can answer here. And it said, where did the new Hex come from? From the 3.69% inflation per year from the immutable smart contract? I don't know if that's a question. You put a smiley face instead of a question, but yeah, exactly. So those stakers that stake their coins, the inflation or the interest that they make is actually the inflation of the coin. So once you unstake and you mint those coins for trading in your shares, you have brought new coins into existence, and that's where the inflation comes from.
Yeah, and the of course the system, it's inflating at 3.69%, which means if you're holding Hex liquid, that's the price that you're paying each year in dilution, I believe, right? And,
yeah, you're being diluted.
And so that's one of the I guess it's a carrot and a stick situation with time.
And then price appreciation can surpass that, so you don't really, you know what I mean? So you'll never really lose. So I mean, of course, unless there's a big dump. I mean, anything can happen, but yeah.
You were saying about how you had an experience basically where Hex kind of taught you a different mentality in crypto to be more comfortable with long-term things.
Well, I think what I was doing when I first got into crypto, I mean, I was still an older man. I mean, I'm 53 now. So even when I was still 43, when crypto first started. So I was in my 40s. So when I first got in, of course, I barely put any, real money into crypto as far as my personal wealth goes. So I was very conservative about that. I brought it in at the in the conservative coins at first, and then I got bit by the bug because a bunch of my buddies that were, I was in a lot of these backdoor chat rooms, these Telegram chat rooms when Telegram was first, getting things hot in 16 and 17. And there was a lot of trading going on in there, a lot of pump and dumps, and people were getting involved in all that. And there was money being made. And so I got kind of caught up in a lot of that, and then with the way the stock market was going, when we watched the .com and Silicon Valley stocks, moon in the early, or the late 90s and early 2000, when we saw those things moon, it was like, okay, this is the next wave of that. So I got kind of caught up in that, the ICO thing and being part of that, and like, okay, let's see if I can pick some of these good ones versus, were you picking the Googles and the PayPals and all that stuff in the beginning. So I got caught up in all that. So I kind of slowly morphed into a trader, a shitty one, of course, but I morphed into a trading mentality when it came to crypto. It was like chasing the next best thing. And then a lot of the people that are involved with, did some stupid shit. And I ended up getting caught up in some of that stuff and losing some money in there. But of course, a couple of them, I mean, in those big bull markets like that, any idiot can, what is it? What's the saying? A broken clock is right twice a day. Yeah. And so that happened to me. I caught a couple of really good ones. And, and I didn't ever lose anything. I didn't make great ground or anything, but I didn't lose anything. And then we all lost when, if you were holding when the ship sunk in 18, if you were holding then, you were fucking wrecked back down to, whatever you put in. Even if you did well, you were wrecked back down to what you put in. So, and that's where I ended up was par. And it was like, well, that was stupid. That was a lot of wasted energy, a lot of expended, bull crap.
Oh yeah.
So, it was that mentality that I got stuck with. And I was so disgusted with myself at that point that I was like, I'm just walking away from this. This crypto shit's bullshit. And it's got me in a bad place. It's got me doing things that I would never, ever done. I've never, invested that way. I've never day traded. I've never done any of that. And in real life, in IRL, I was very responsible with my money. I was very responsible with my investments. I'm very responsible with my properties I own and all those things. So this crypto was this kind of like this evil, dark little fucking world that I sunk into and played with, almost like a little gambling habit. But I mean, like I said, I never put any real wealth. It wasn't ever like a sickness or anything like that for me. But I didn't invest wisely. But there wasn't really anything wise or intelligent to invest in, unless Ethereum was, but then Ethereum had all of its hiccups too, and Bitcoin. I was like, man, I just don't think that's going to be the technology that's going to take us into the future with this thing, and then everything that was being duct taped and Band-Aid on to everything. It was just like, nothing was making me get excited. And I was ready to walk. I was ready to walk on crypto until Richard finally said, well, you know what? I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something in crypto. I'm going to change this shit. And, when he called the 20K Christmas, called the bear market, I mean, I was, it broke my heart. I was in tears. I was like, that guy's telling the truth. I know he is. And, so that like was my first experience with, my belief in what Richard was saying, because fuck, man, when he said that, I was like, this guy's right. This thing's going to bed for 3 years. And sure as shit, it did, it was heartbreaking. But when he said he was launching his token, his coin, his product, his project, I was like, well, maybe there is hope if a guy like this can do something. And sure as shit, motherfucker did it, man. He did it. He really, really did it. And I can't thank him enough. One day I'm hoping I'll get to thank him in person, that'd be the ultimate, is to be able to tell Richard thanks for what he's done, because he did really do something incredible for crypto. And I think one day the whole crypto community in general will thank him for what he's done. It probably ain't going to happen anytime soon. there's going to be a lot more butthurt than there is, thanking him. That's for sure. But eventually they will.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure of it as well. It's been, I've felt really lucky to be involved in the early days of Hex, because it's already transformed so much. I remember before I got super serious about staking, Hex was paying, I don't know, something maybe like 5 or 10% APY, and to me, it was, the volatility in crypto really didn't justify locking up. And of course I was interested in the idea of it and learning as much as I could. This is an area where Hex is already surviving in the real world, where Ethereum is still just a promise coin, talking about what, they're centrally planning what their interest rate is going to be. And Hex already experimented with that and got the right answers, and it's too late. It's too late to have Ethereum go back and create more Genesis coins without being controversial. I mean, it really boxed them into a corner. And so I think that they're actually being malicious, although I don't have anything but circumstantial, logic to back that up. I mean, it's I think they're on the wrong side of history if they are taking the only thing that I've seen in crypto really help people's mental health, and they want to tax it to death basically by raising the cost of the storage function. It's just it's a bad look for them.
Yeah, no, and if we do fork away from them and it does become uber successful, I mean, it's going to be what a day.
Can you imagine having a chain where there's not gatekeeping? Like, no. I know a couple other coins that would be down to be on there with us.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them. And it would be it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's going to happen. He already said, Richard doesn't say he's going to do something and not do it. So he's going to do something. I don't know how long it's going to take. I mean, I've heard everything from, it's going to take us a year, 2 or 3 to, hey, 6 months, this thing could be up and running. It's a really easy thing to do. But then I know how Richard does things. And it's like, I don't know. I've never looked at how forking works. I don't know how forking works. I mean, I understand the concept of it, but I don't know the intricacies and what it takes a dev to do and what their workload looks like and what kind of, issues that they have to work through to make sure are correct. What it takes to forklift that, Hex, contract from one chain to the other and all that kind of stuff. I've heard everything from it's really, really easy to, you got to make sure you do this right and that right. So I don't know what it's going to take, but it will happen.
I really love the fact that Richard, he said no comment, because he does not usually say that. And that means that he's got like such a competitive advantage that is, I really think, and this is something that I've studied for a long time, there are certain moves that you can make in the design of launching a crypto or in the creation of something that you don't get if it's not a surprise. For example, an airdrop. If people have already gamed the system, then it defeats the purpose of the airdrop to be something that increases the network effects and doesn't get dumped and that sort of thing. I was thinking to myself as I was dumping my ETH, which now I get to be, less attached to that coin.
Some of them. Go ahead.
Which one does Richard like better? Does he like Hex or ETH better? And so I'm not gonna like ruin any surprises with my own like wild theories, but like I would just put that out there that like it seems like Richard likes Hex, and so I'm not going to say anything else.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm one of those people that has attachments to things, like my old cars and my guns and my coins and my things that I have attachments to them. But my cryptos, I did have some attachments to some of them. There were some of them I had attachments to, not that I cared about any of them really deeply, but I just couldn't give them up. And then finally I did, and I gave them all up for Hex and transferred all my bags over. And now today I have no qualms. There isn't anything else out there other than the fact that I have to use ETH for gas. There isn't anything else out there that I want to hold. I don't think there's any value in holding anything else. I've never seen gains like this, and I've never seen another crypto that can make your crypto grow, and there's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than that in any financial market. So I have no emotional connection to anything else other than my Hex.
Same.
I just wanted to thank Hex Alt Ed for the kind words. Have admiration for our courage. You know what? It was really the community that gave me the courage to do it, because you guys were such badasses that I knew that we can do this. All it needed was somebody to get up here and create a stream that would get you guys up in front of everybody. Because when I was in that, so when the COVID thing was going on and we were all in the chat rooms, in the Telegram chat rooms, I saw so many smart people, so many good people, because I've been in a lot of TG community chat rooms, a lot of them, and I never seen anything like what I was seeing in that Hex community chat. I mean, the intelligence and the camaraderie and just the kind people, the helpful hands, the people, even when fudgsters would come in, they'd try and talk to them, and they'd come in and talk stupid, ridiculous crap. And then they'd end up getting kicked out or whatever eventually, but they kept trying and trying and trying to explain to people what was going on. And I was like, man, this is a great community. I've never seen anything in crypto. So many helpful people, so many smart people. So these guys got to get out in front of everybody and get on stream, show their faces and show their passion, because we were going nowhere at that point. I mean, it was just like FUD city. You Google Hex and it was like, fucking Richard's a scammer and fuck this and fuck that. And it was just a mess. I was like, no, we gotta show people what's really going on here. Who Richard, because all of us had watched hours and hours of him stream, from the beginning of the project to before launch. And so everybody kind of knew his heart, who he really was. And it's like, no, you're kind of looking at him from the surface. If you really dig back and look at what Richards is all about, in between all of his antics and his some of his arrogance, I would call it, I guess, is what some people would see. I see a lot of confidence and frustration versus that comes out in the form of arrogance. So he has a lot of confidence, a lot of intelligence, Richard's a different human being, because he's got that.
Totally.
He's got an almost he's almost got an Asperger's-ish like trigger on his criticism of people, but he has a heart of gold, and he can express that also. It's very rare you find human beings that can be quick on the draw and slap you down, but be just as willing and just as quick to pick you back up, dust you off, and say, hey, here, let me help you. He's that kind of a human being. And if people only see that one side of him, I understand how they can see, an asshole or a fudster or a scammer or whatever they want to call him. I mean, I can understand that. But if you've watched the hours and hours of his streaming and you see those other moments when he does open up and he does offer help and he does offer information, he does offer what he's trying to give to the world, and you do see his heart when he talks about what he really wants to do, then you would know, like us, why we're so passionate about what we do and why we're so passionate about being part of the Hex community, and being behind him. So that's something that a lot of people don't see, is the other side of Richard.
Yeah, yeah. He has so much proof of help that he does, and then it's intermixed with this like like a populist kind of like attitude almost, and he just, it's I think it makes sense kind of that if the economic incentives right in crypto are that you want to be right and you have a financial incentive and kind of like a cognitive framing of like what almost like subconsciously like you don't want to be wrong, and you're willing to shoot other people down because you think you're right, and because you want to pump your own bag, and so
Yeah.
He just really is able to educate the people who are willing to Richard will sit there setting up his stream for a couple of minutes. Most people who are impatient would not keep watching at that point. Like, he's filtering out people who aren't like the deeper thinkers, aren't the more patient people. And then I just think everything that he does is super innovative and kind of like on a different level of social psychology even.
Yeah. And here's something. So you just said, the really smart, and BMA just said something, the only problem is that you have to be really smart to understand Hex, and it's too bad most people aren't that smart. I want to dispel that myth because I'm not a super smart guy. I'm not really, really smart. I'm wise. I've been through a lot of situations. I've learned a lot. So I have become smart to an extent, but I'm not one of those guys that can, remember grammar or remember numbers. Like, I'm really like number dyslexic. Like, I could barely use a fucking calculator to add, subtract, and do the work that I have to do and figure out angles and things like that every once in a while. So I'm not a really, really smart guy when it comes to those things, but I'm a wise guy. And what I saw in Hex was the wisdom that's in Hex. And I think that a lot of people also who are wise understand Hex. If you're wise, you can understand it. If you've been around for a while and you understand what futures look like and what things, how can I say this? If you can understand how something like this can affect your life in the future, and make a wise decision to get involved, I think that's what it takes to be part of Hex. You don't necessarily have to be smart. You have to be smart to figure it out. I mean, I've literally had to, spend a lot of time learning how Hex functions. But yeah, I know some of these smart people, like for instance, what's his name, looks into crypto. Mm-hmm. I talked to him for a little while, like when he first met DC and they started talking. I talked to him for a little bit about Hex, and then within a day or two, he was way smarter than me as far as Hex works, and came back to me and told me all these things and had all these, and I was like, yeah, you got it, dude. You understand all this shit. And like he can sit in the back and look at the math and figure it all out, So I mean,
he's awesome.
Yeah, he's just one of those smart people. But being somebody who can make good decisions and be wise is really what Hex is full of. It's a bunch of wise folks, and I like that. But we do have a lot of smart guys too. Don't get me wrong. And you weren't wrong, BMA. I was just kind of also adding that people who are in Hex are wise. We do have a lot of smart ones too, and it does take smarts to figure it out. So, are we all done, Matty? Are we done, or do you have something else that you want to bring up?
Yeah, well, I think we covered like so much.
You're getting used to like 8-hour streams and shit because you and your Quant Gang guys have been like freaking tearing it up, dude. I'm looking at some of your streams going, holy shit, how am I going to get through freaking 6-8 hours, right? Oh my gosh. Oh, wait a second. Toby
2x speed.
Yeah, but I don't like doing that. I have to listen to it, right? Dev Kyle's channel, Try Hex, from the early days, has some brilliant, succinct explanations on lots of core elements of Hex. Oh yeah, so if you guys want to go to Try Hex, which is Dev Kyle, I didn't even know that. No, you know what? I do remember Dev Kyle did throw out some stuff. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And that's why we had him on our stream, was because he actually did stream a little bit, which was cool. And thanks for the 499, Toby One. Thank you. Let's see. Korean investors just said something. Hey guys, yeah, Hex is a gem hidden in plain sight with voices from all walks of life. 2030 is going to be something else. You know what? That's the memories that we're building now are going to be the fun of 2030. You know, I can't wait to be there and be at our
10-year reunion,
our 10th annual Hex convention, you know, and who knows how big everything will be and where it will be conducted. Maybe it's on RG3's pirate ship in the seas of offshore Puerto Rico or something. Who knows where it'll be, but it's going to be interesting to see in 10 years, us having conversations about the good old days, and the memories that we built. Or maybe somebody makes a movie about all this shit, and who knows what's going to happen? But we are making history.
I'm really excited about this year and about meeting people if they can make it out there, and if not, just what we already have with our online presence is so next level. I'm feeling very blessed to be a part of this community, and I was thinking in my head, I'm not sure if I said out loud, like, yeah, you gave me the courage to show my face in Hex, and I don't think I would be I'd be able to help other people as much if I hadn't done that. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you for saying that. We've accomplished what we wanted to do here, and hopefully it continues to perpetuate. And 10 years from now, there's, like I said, the biggest investors and the biggest streamers haven't got into Hex yet. They're still out there. They're still yet. In 2030, there's probably we're just going to be a memory. And I would like that, actually, because there's a beach somewhere out there and a nice big place that I'd like to be surfing every day and not worrying about all of this stuff, and hoping that somebody else picks up the torch and carries it on into the sunset and builds Hex bigger than I ever could have, and takes it to the world and all that stuff. And I'm just a memory. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, in the future, Soldier Boy is going to say, "Send me your Hex," and actually know what he means.
I know. I couldn't watch his stream. Somebody posted his stream or something, and I turned it on, and I was like, "Oh God, I can't watch this."
He was just yelling and cursing and
cursing and screaming. It was like me playing a video game,
doing so much stuff. Like,
it was like a younger version of me playing video games. I was like, what's the last thing I want to hear is some cringy freaking young guy sounding like me, So anyway, Culebra. What is that? Hexarican. Culebra. Maybe it's just Culebra. I don't know. RG3 is a pioneer in his own right. Oh, thank you. I guess I'm just a Hexican pioneer. I'm a Hexican pirate, crypto pirate, here for you guys and your enjoyment, and just to make you guys pick up the torch and run with it and go do better things than I could ever even imagine, because I know you guys are capable. That's why this is your Discourse Syndicate. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Matty, for coming on. Appreciate you, bro. Can't wait to see what our Vegas trip's going to look like. Well, everybody stay tuned for that. We will get all of that rolling and get all of you involved that want to be involved. And
go to hexakin.vegas. Hexakin.vegas.
And don't forget to watch Matty Allen, Matty Allin, and his Quant Gang and all that over on his YouTube channel. They are doing stuff that we couldn't even imagine talking about and doing. They got Hex charts and share charts and all that shit. And you can go watch Kareem and Wells Only just fucking for hours tearing it up and explaining the intricacies of Hex in every which way. They will have you wrapped up in more freaking positions than the Kama Sutra can offer you. So, all right, guys, thank you very much. We'll see you on Wednesday for our 100th episode, where me and Hexo are going to talk shit about all of you guys. Take care. We'll see you guys later.